Yeah, good.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh,
Hashem
Ba'ashem
Yahushai
Yahushai,
Ba'Hashem
Ba'ashem
HaKadosh.
Ekakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone that do rule well. Our apostles, our teachers in the street. Say salutations unto the Achaeans that push this gospel to the four corners of the earth with truth and in sincerity. This brother Iwadash
Brother Manatazak.
here with another improved video. Basically going into this article here, right? Um, I read. It's a Trump's new UFO advisor says feds baffled by what they are seeing. Right? It's a astronomer picked by President Trump last month to head a UFO advisory council says he believes he was brought on because the U.S. government remains baffled by the unidentified object the military has recorded over the past several decades, right? And this is something that, they would never have the knowledge about, that is why they're baffled, though they might know, certain parts of the scriptures, they don't know the depths or the secrets of the Lord, right? So the things that they would see, will baffle them. But we know, pursuant to, I get that here in second Ezra. Is this right? Is this it? Yes, yeah. In second Ezra, chapter 9 and I'll go from verse 1. He said, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, and that part of the signs would be, the uproars, the earthquakes, the pestilence, and all these things, right? He said, Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, and the Lord is making his presence known, right? Especially unto the elect men, who have been pushing, this truth, pushing this word for the past few years. These chariot sightings and these articles that coming out, is hope unto the men of the Lord. There's hope unto the men of the Lord that, hey, whatever was written, the scripture says, whatever was written for our learning. Whatever is written, it will stand, it will come to pass, and the Lord is showing his presence. You understand? The devil know he have but a short time, but he don't know when. He don't know when, and it has certain things that happening, that these scientists and them, they can't explain. Can't explain why this going on, what causing this. Because they would have the technologies to do certain things, but things not going according to plan, I should say. Some things not going according to their plan. So they're baffled by the things they're seeing. But, we and hopefully we understand that the Lord is visiting this place, this kingdom, this rulership, right? And he's going to bring our judgment upon this place. Judgment upon these wicked nations, these rulers, the elites, and 2/3 of Jake, right? Give me 2 Kings 6 and 16. I talk about the chariot sightings is a reassurance, that through the scriptures, the thing that, as I always say, the prophets is put there to give warning, yes. but they're also the ones that when the Lord speak through the prophets, the angels put it into effect now, boy. So when the prophet speak it are the angels working behind the scene on the spiritual side, making things happen. That whatever the Lord put in the mouth of the prophet to bring forth, the angels are making it happen. Right?
God.
And it's a reassurance that, hey, the Lord is not, as the scripture said, the Lord is not a man that he should lie, the Lord is not a covenant breaker. He keeps his promise. Right? So through the signs at the times, we know that, hey, the Lord is visiting this place, judgment is about to come upon it, because the devil, he moving swiftly. Moving swiftly to put, technologies and all these wicked devices into play to oppress, the world, right? So it's a 2 Kings 6:16. Yeah.
And so and he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Because as man, speak as a man, even though we might know the secrets and the promises in scriptures, it will have things that will happen that will bring fear upon us also. You understand? Because we don't know that the how exactly our days will be, our last days, in the sense of what we have to go through, what we have to endure, right? So it will have things that, even though we have faith and trust in the Lord, that will shake the cage a little bit now.
Cause the other day we just mortal now.
Just
We in
mortal.
the chains of darkness. So as much as we had the eyesight to see that these things are coming and know, as the brother say, we know that hey, it ain't going to be easy because the scripture say everybody have to go through the hour. So like the hour of temptation will come upon all the earth. I mean, the men in the truth, the men out of the truth, the men who think what they're preaching is truth. You know what I mean? It will come upon everybody. You know. So all our boy could do is all they could really do is at the end of the day cleave unto the Lord. You know what I mean?
You said that, say, I'm checking 15.
Yeah, all they could do is really cleave unto the Lord, and at the end of the day, when you see it with your own eyes, you know what I mean? You will understand, hey, this is what the Lord was talking about, but you will be shaken. You will be shaken. He's only a human. You have to pray for that the Lord give that mental fortitude to still stand firm when things start to happen. You know what I mean? When you see your family members, you know what I mean, in a horrible state. You know what I mean? We ever go into the graphics because the AI does run on the YouTube. You know what I mean? But in a horrible state. You know what I mean? Yeah, the whole film, because I mean, as much as we could say and preach the script, the precept that say, you know what I mean, if a man love his wife and love his household more than me, he's not fit, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? He had to hate his wife and thing, and go down in the meaning and the depths of these words and understand what the precept means. Yes, we have the understanding of the precept. No, they can be put before the Lord. The cause of the Lord or the will of the Father comes before ourselves, before our wants, before our desires. You know what I mean? Where the scripture says, well, seek ye first the kingdom of power, and all things will be added unto you, roughly paraphrasing. Right? But even though this is the case, you remember, hey, you're still a human. Seeing it. Because you can't imagine it because you never see it. So when you do see it now, it go, you know what I mean? It go take you back. It go knock you out of you. You have to pray for that mental fortitude that the Lord be with you in these times. You know what I mean? To keep you going, to keep you moving forward. Because you could bug out at that moment. At that moment, you see that you could go right back to reprobating it immediately. You know what I mean? Expeditiously even.
I'm going to bring this precept in Revelation 3 and verse 10. He said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell in the world. So, we're not exempted. We are all going and be tried.
That is when, and that also ties into the Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being tried through the furnace of affliction. You know what I mean?
See, so it's say here, he say, for he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they be with them. Right? And we know that, hey, these chariots here that they come in, they're not only for judgment, but also for the deliverance, for the elect of the children of Israel. You know, it's for the elect's sake, right? Scripture even tell it that by and which plenty videos, coming out about that. The how the time speeding up. People find the days getting shorter, right? I see a few videos this week that, brothers put concerning the time getting shorter, right? So we know that all these things is for the elect's sake. You understand? The chariot, yes, is for judgment, but also to deliver the elect, right? So you say, yeah, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them, right? So the chariots of the Lord is many of the scriptures I talk about in Psalm 68. Let me bring it out to you. Psalm 68 and verse 17. It says, the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Yahweh is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. Right? So you see, I needed to say that what the Lord is among them. Right? So first it say that what? The Lord in 2nd Ezra 9 say, then you shall understand that what? The Lord will begin to visit the place, the world which he made. Right? So it goes on to say, in right. So we'll go back into the 2nd Kings, right? He said, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots, and fire round about Elisha. Right? And so it is going to be, chariots going to cover the sky from one end. And it have a scripture that give you the
So you can see the end.
yeah, you couldn't see the end.
And that also goes into the day of the Lord being a dark day.
God.
You know what I mean? It's not just it's both literal and physical. It's literally going to be dark. You know what I mean? And it's also going to be dark with emotion. It could be gloomy. There wouldn't be no rejoicing as how there's teaching in church. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be no rejoicing and clapping and no welcome back parties. It could be like that. It could be death and anguish. You know what I mean? That the whole day of the Lord the day of the Lord is judgment.
And the scripture say that
Who does rejoice in judgment?
the mirth shall cease.
God.
Right? Even I see just last week they started a band launch for Carnival 2027. Right? So now we're heading into that time when the mirth is ceasing. People getting laid off from the workplace. Plenty people they're in a hard place right now. Right? They don't have no money, they have no food.
Well, the old Blue Waters thing, you know what I mean? They might close down from what I read in Nestle looking to sell.
Yeah,
and they have 200 employees. So they want to know, well, the employees here are now waiting to find out, well, what we gonna do? You know what I mean? So yeah.
Things not looking up and not looking bright.
Yeah,
not
as the
looking
scripture say what? There will be no work in Egypt for which branch nor rush head nor tail may do. You know what I mean? And we see that the cutting down of the physical labor that man may be able to do. You know what I mean? And all this is the groundwork for the system to come in, because with the UBI, nobody will be working. They want to dependent on the government. So they go get a little, you know what I mean, a little time to feel the brunt of it and say, hey.
And then come with the solution.
Yeah, hey, we going to look to offer UBI. You had to take this though.
Forget our working.
We understand the plight of our population, and to be a fair government, our citizens, we'd like to offer you all a universal basic income to help brace the brunt of everyday life. And they go butter it up. They go butter it up. They will butter it on all sides. Make sure it swallows smooth. You know what I mean? No hiccup, no choke. That's how the way you take it, smooth. They say, well, all you got to do is come to these centers and take this micro C-hip, you know? And that way you'll be added to the what is the body of internet? Body of information, the BOI. I mean, with all the biometrics on the net. You know, you take the MOC hip and you prescribe to the digital system. You're a part of the digital society, and that is the groundwork for it. All this is the groundwork. Don't feel these things happen coincidentally. There are no coincidences. Things don't happen by happenstance. You know what I mean? If the Lord does not sanction it, it will not happen.
Okay.
So everything, every single minor, even every minor inconvenience, it's the Lord that allowed that to happen. You know what I mean?
Yo, get my we finish with that? Yeah, yo, get my Isaiah 66 and verse 15.
Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
So he say, you come with what? He said, behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots. You understand? And the Lord making the present known, with the chariots, the unidentified flying objects.
Well, it's so-called unidentified.
Well, so-called.
Yeah, so-called.
So-called. Yeah.
Yeah, that is what I was talking about. It could be at their gloominess, as it's saying, it's Zephaniah 1 and from 12 go down, I believe. It says, well, they are darkness, and it say darkness first, and at their gloominess, so they get the physical representation, and then they get the figurative representation, which is the gloominess. You wouldn't be happy when fire, a whirlwind of fucking fire. Think about it. Pick your fire tornado. And not one, but multiple fire tornadoes. You know what I mean? No electricity, because we know we're going to have blackouts. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very gloomy day. A very, very gloomy day. You know what I mean? People who, when they realize that, hey, this is the day of the Lord, all them churchgoers go regret asking for the day.
I believe it's Jeremiah 4. Is Jeremiah 4, right? I believe it's in Jeremiah. It say, wherefore had the Lord pronounced all this evil against us. So, when the day of the Lord, as people, they're saying by the government, this and all they have to do is, stop be greedy, stop be selfish, stop thief. And we got to put people there, who will seek the interest of the people. And all these things because, why, Jakes, they want to continue in this place.
Not only that, these people think that they have a sin away. Them is the ones who believe it's we just put them there. Yeah. We are the vote out of party. Like them now, boy. And they think, well, when one party say, hey, we will do this, and the next party say, hey, we will do this, both of them not saying that we wouldn't do that, Yeah. They wouldn't say that they wouldn't do that. Both of them going and do it, but all right, he don't want to get all your free laptop, I go get all your free phone. Yeah. You understand? But both are we bringing all it into the digital agenda. We promise all of that. Either who all you vote for, because why? We don't run this country.
And even you see that I was telling somebody that this week, even when I watch, right, whether it be NATO or it be BRICS,
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. The both
BRICS want their own dollar, which could be at CBDC, and NATO want to go to CBDC to bring in the digital system. Both sides are the same coin. Two sides are the same exact coin. One is heads, one is tails, but it's one coin. You know what I mean?
So nevertheless, you won't be able to escape it.
Can't dive that with the brother bring out in the Revelation 3 and done.
You wouldn't be able to escape.
Our temptation on all the earth that dwell in the earth. Where you living on Mars? No, you're living on earth. So you're going to face it regardless. It's just that, hey, we are somebody who you know what I mean? We have an intermediator for we. All they don't know, you know what I mean? All they didn't need. All they didn't care. All they was living it up. All they was enjoying the kingdom. All they was enjoying the circus when Rome was burning down. You know what I mean? All they didn't take it. All they was distracted. That was going on. All they was distracted when Rome was burning down. You know what I mean? I went to the circus, I went and watched this and played in this and Ferris wheel, married, given to marriage, party, feast. Have a ball, have a ball, have a ball. And as the scripture say, then the flood came. You understand? And that's how it will happen, just like that.
Then they shall know there had been a prophet among them.
Can. Yeah?
Right now, bring this precept here because it's going to, the chariots being here, not just a judgment, but also to deliver the elect.
Can.
Right? This is Revelation 15. I'll start from verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. Right? Which we see in that, but the wrath of the Lord is being played out, poured out, piece by piece, gradually, until I build up. Right? Until I build up with which could be going into the ICBM, right? Or scripture referred to it as fire and brimstone, right? So we see, so we see the wrath of the Lord building up, right? He said, verse 2, and I saw as it were the sea of glass mingled with fire. Hey, that is
The third war. Third nuclear war. You know what I mean? The men of the Lord, the true servants of the Lord, will be looking down through the sea of glass, watching the place burn. You know what I mean? That is the true rapture. That is the rapture that the Christians is be talking about.
2 shall be in a field, and 1 shall be taken.
Yeah, can. You know what I mean? And that is how we go. That is the actual rapture that Christians just want to take. He go come before. No. He coming for all here. First to begin. You know what I mean? Everybody have to go through the trial. You know what I mean? And when the ICBM start ICBM, then the Lord will come. You know what I mean? It's still a thing starting before that moment. We have to be into the digital system before that.
Before I finish this precept here, let me go back in the article. I think it had a little more to read on the article. So it say yeah. So it say Avi Loeb, known for arguing that alien spacecraft may have already reached Earth, said his newly formed team is more than a dozen scientists is combing through 4 batches of public UFO sightings disclosure released by the Trump administration in recent months. Right, so they're searching through to see what they can find. All of that will be to the build up where they go to find the Lord, because they're looking to how to modify the technology or the artillery, to pop that fight now, right?
Can even to add, all this is a build up to the Project Blue Mew as well.
Can.
Because we know the Project Blue Mew is a false flag of the coming of the Lord, a false coming of the Messiah. You know what I mean? We know it to be that. They go and just play it as an invader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could look it up. Do your own research, all your homework, look up Project Blue Beam. Just like the MK Ultra, which was the mind control project thing, and you know what I mean? They do these incognito, you know what I mean, psyops, and then come and release it out, and before that is what as the scripture say, they accomplish a diligence. You know what I mean? They accomplish a diligence. They know how to do the thing. You know what I mean? They know how to shake a cage.
So now we finish that, we'll go back to this here. I saw that as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass. And that's what we're looking for. When we see them chariots, everybody, brothers that say Kalala, Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. You understand? Because they know deliverance. They know that time. Through the signs, they know the time is near.
God.
Right? So having Right? You see this on the sea of glass having the harps of Yahweh. Right? And that's what we're looking forward to.
Good.
So with that, we hope you was edified.
Hope
You
it's
know,
sparkful without among the Arkham who watching or listening. To the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai Bashem Kakadash. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.